Hello one and all, and welcome to episode 4 of the Shadow of Eindhoven with me, Frewball FM. Today I thought I'd start on the dynamics screen just to take you through some of the things that are going on at the club in terms of the dynamics. You can see that Rusty Ashante is still unhappy at the sale of Branko van den Boomen, and Alessio Carlone wants a chance in the first team, which I've been giving him because Elton Kabangu on that left-hand side, the left winger position, just hasn't been cutting it really, and he's been on international duty, which is always fun. Doesn't help that Rusty Ashante is actually in fact a team leader, as you can see on the left-hand side there. The match cohesion is still poor, which will have an effect on our team during matches, which obviously we need to improve, and hopefully we can do that as the course of the season goes on, and hopefully we get better. Anyway, let's get into the games that I've played behind the scenes. So after our cup heroics against NAC Breda, we returned to league action against Young Ajax, and they were, I think maybe still are, top of the table at the time, and their defence just shut us out. We probably didn't deserve to lose the game. They only had 2 shots on target in the whole game. They did dominate the possession, but Nicholas Kuhn scored an absolute worldie. One of those that you can't do anything about, to be honest. It's one of those things. He got the ball on the edge of the box, dribbled past a couple of players and just slotted it right into the top corner. The tactic does seem to be working well. However, I do seem to have uncovered a little bit of a theme and a little bit of an issue within the team, which rhymed, which is always nice. See, in this game we did have to rotate quite a lot, with the game against NAC Breda falling so closely to this one. You see Colin Sadov came in at right back, Van der Heijden played at defensive midfield, Sami Bourad came in the midfield, and Volker Janssens played up front in place of Defener, and just didn't have the same effect. Our next league game was against FC Twente, and it was pretty much a similar story really. I mean, they had more shots on target this time. The strange thing seems to be that we're actually better away from the Jan Leuven Stadion, which is our home stadium. We're actually better away from home, which is really strange. We didn't come back into this game until the 81st minute. Unfortunately, Christophe Defener did pick up an injury, as you can see there, and he was out. He's been out for a good while. I think it was about 4 weeks he was out, so he's just returning to full fitness now and should be available for the game today. But that injury really affected us, and we weren't able to really put any pressure on FC Twente, in all honesty. Yeah, Tom Bora with the brace, a penalty in the 34th minute, which, by the way, I'm going to have to show you because it was by absolutely no means a penalty. So for the sake of the live comms, I have switched the camera back to 2D Classic. I think I just prefer it. I don't think the 3D match engine is anything to shout about. But I mean, that's a separate issue to this. But let's just see what this penalty from Florian Bach was the player who gave it away. Let's just see if we think this is actually a penalty. I've only seen it in 2D, so there might be something else in 3D, but let's take a look at this, shall we? So Shadrach, which is a great name. Oh, that's just a foul from Ashante, but Shadrach from Emmerdale did get fouled there. So see, Shadrach does pick it up, gives it to Javi Espinosa, who just pumps the ball over the top, trying to play offside, didn't work. Tom Bora there, but Florian Bach comes in. How is that a penalty? How is that a penalty? Should we just have another look at that, shall we? Okay, so just to be very clear that this definitely wasn't a penalty, look at this. Tom Bora goes through, Bach with an absolutely incredible challenge, and the referee gives a penalty. It's absolutely unbelievable. We've been very, very unlucky in these games that we've played in between, and 2-1 again. Probably a draw would have been a fairer result in my opinion in this one, but unfortunately we weren't able to find an equaliser. Alvin Daniels did pull one back in the 81st minute, but it wasn't enough. Now then, this was quite easily our best performance of the season. Absolutely fantastic performance from us. You can see they only had 1 shot in the whole game and 0 on target. We ran out against NEC Nijmegen away from home, I might add, with an attendance of about 10,000. 2-0 winners. Goals from Massimo Ornatelli and Marcelo Lopez. We had to rotate quite a lot in this game because we had some players away on international duty. So Vermeulen had to come in on the right wing for Alvin Daniels, who's away with Suriname. He actually scored his first goal for Suriname whilst away on international duty, which is nice for him. So Joran Vermeulen had to come in. We did take him off, and Marcelo Lopez's replacement did score, managed to get himself on the score sheet, so that was nice. But we just absolutely dominated this one, start to finish. 2-0. Really flat as NEC Nijmegen, to be honest. They were absolutely non-existent, but Ornatelli putting in a performance of the highest order. I think he completed about 120 passes in this game with about a 94% passing accuracy, so he was absolutely instrumental in that, and that's exactly what we signed him for. Then we fell to another defeat at home at the hands of FC Volendam and Cas Peters with 2 goals in the 17th and 18th minutes. Again, the scoreline doesn't reflect how decent we were in the game. What I'm starting to sort of realise is that although we might be keeping a lot of possession and we're getting quite a few chances, we just haven't got the quality at the top end of the pitch that some of the other sides have got, and they're able to put their chances away and we aren't, which is pretty much what happened against FC Twente earlier on, and also against Young Ajax as well. They had that one player who had that spark, who could just take a few players on and blast one in the top corner. We just don't seem to have that. You can see that Carlone got 3 key passes in this game, and we didn't manage to convert one of them. So, we are creating chances. It's just putting them away. We just don't have a striker that can put away the goals. Elton Kabangu actually had to play up front in this game because both Volker Janssens and Christoph Defner were injured. So Kabangu had to play up front, and he did not have a good game. We actually brought Filip Arzic on to play in sort of towards the end of the second half. Kabangu was really ineffective in that role, so I won't be trying that again anytime soon, I wouldn't have thought. And if you needed any more evidence that we just lack quality at the top of the pitch, the top end of the pitch, 27 shots, 8 on target against FC Den Bosch, and we weren't able to once score a goal. They were very tired the whole way through the game, and we just outran them. I think that was it. We had 67% possession in this game. I think at one point it was up as high as 72, 73%. Ornatelli again was very instrumental in that. 3 key passes with 1 chance created, but again, we just weren't able to break them down. Jeffrey Ashiampong managed to pick up man of the match, and he's actually impressed me out of all of the centre backs that have played so far this season, along with Florian Bach, obviously, who wasn't able to play in this one again due to injury. We've had quite a few injuries, which has really halted our progress, I think, so far this season. So I want to take a minute before we look at the league table to show you the profile of Jano Janssen. He's one of our young centre-backs. He was already here when we started the save. He's 18 years old. He's only just turned 18 as well in September. He's got 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star, 3.5, potentially 4.5 potential ability. His stats are improving dramatically. Some of these stats, he's only 5'11", which isn't massive for a centre back, but it's also not a really, really limiting stat either. If he was maybe 5'9" or 5'8", I probably wouldn't be holding out too much hope for him being a centre back. But he's got really good pace, he's got good acceleration, his physicals will improve as he gets older, so strength is only 9 at the minute, but as you can see, it's rapidly improving. Some of these mentals probably need to improve as well, but he looks a really, really good young prospect. Also, something I didn't realise before I started this save is that actually these 2 things here are going to be incredible for us picking up regens as we go through the save. Junior coaching is excellent junior coaching, so that's the quality of the regens that come through, I think. And the youth recruitment is well established as well, so we're going to have, hopefully, lots of really talented youngsters coming through the ranks who potentially we can either keep as we sort of go up the leagues and go up the league and further on can become first team regulars in the Eredivisie and beyond, or we can sell them on for massive fees. Either way, I'm happy with that. I'm so pleased that I've noticed that. That's really, 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 really good. So all of those results leave us sitting in 17th place in the Keukenkampioen Divisie with Roda JC Kerkrade, who have only won 1 game, which was against us, which is as always. But Dordrecht and Topos beneath us. I think we've got more than the teams, especially Dordrecht and Topos. I think we've got more than them this season. We were expected to finish 18th by the media. That's looking like a fairly realistic prediction. Anything above that, I guess, is kind of a success, really. But I would probably be happiest with maybe 14th or 13th place. I think our team's definitely got the potential to do that. It's just whether we can push on and stay injury free. I think injuries are going to be key, or rather staying free from injury is going to be the key to the second half of our season. So today I'm going to bring you the first Lichtstad derby of the save, and you'll be wondering, I know what you're all thinking. I know what you're all thinking right now. Why are we not playing PEC's Voller in the Toto Kane VB Becker Allison Becker second round, because it's such a lovely named competition? I know you're all thinking, what happened to Zvola? What happened to this Voller game? Well, actually, my game crashed, unfortunately. My game crashed just after I'd saved the last game that we played against NAC Breda. I saved it then, and it crashed before the draw. So I was thinking, well, it's going to look really strange here if I get somebody really, really weak, like a weak team, like a lower division team. I thought this is going to look suspect. But we got PSV away. I mean, the draw couldn't have got any harder than this. We were only expected to get to the second round by the board, so we are going to go out today, considering the fact that we got beat 2-0 by PSV's youth team. I mean, that's pretty telling, really, isn't it? But yeah, 33,450 tickets have been sold out of the 35,000 capacity stadium. That is incredible. I hope we sort of get some gate receipts from the cup here. I don't know how it works in Holland. I know in England that when you play in the cup, you split the gate receipts. So 33,000 worth of gate receipts. I'm not sure even how expensive the ticket prices are in Holland either. But 33,000 tickets worth. Well, an average ticket price for PSV is £31, so £31 times 33,000. Woo! Woo! I'm going to say we can get a good 500 grand here, a good 500k in the bank. If that's the case, I really hope it is. We'll have to look at our finances before and after. So our finances right now are looking at 976,000. Also in this league, you get a lot of TV revenue, £151,000 each month, which is pretty damn good. Anyway, let's get into the team selection, and we're going to go with a cautious mentality, which is what we've been playing with mainly. I think perhaps some of the reason that we're not quite doing it at home is because we're playing with a cautious mentality when at home we should probably have it on balanced or actually on positive. To be honest, I think that's maybe why we're not quite as successful at home. So this is going to be the team to take part in the Lichtstad derby, and we've got Rudswinkels in goal as usual, with Augustin Loaf at right back. Central defenders are going to be Jeffrey Ashiampong and Florian Bach. Roshdi Ashante is going to play at left back with Karim Esikal in the defensive midfield role. Massimo Onatelli is going to play as the deep line playmaker again as per usual, with Nicholas Stielin as the box-to-box midfielder alongside him. Alvin Daniels will bring up the support on the right hand side. I've just switched up his role a little bit because I realised that he's only got 6 finishing and he's been on attack, so that probably was part of the reason again why we're not scoring goals, is because he's getting chances and just fluffing his lines. But Alessio Carloni will be on the left hand side and he will be on attack. He's got better finishing, I think, than Daniels, so perhaps he can provide more of a sharpened arrow, if you like, on that left hand side, with Christoph Defener as the deep line forward, linking up the play up front, and no Elton Kabangu today because he's injured. PSV are going with the cheat formation because they know that obviously we're going to win. So it's the 4-3-3, which is widely known as a exploit formation on Football Manager. I'm not sure how much it is this year, but if we can get down the sides, if we could get some service to Carloni and Daniels, we might be in with some luck here. But like I say, we got beat 2-0 by their youth team, so I don't really see where we can even get any joy from this game, to be honest. I'm expecting maybe 5 or 6-0, 5 or 6-1 maybe. But yeah, they've got a very scary team. I'm going to passionately say we've got nothing to lose here. Let's go and show everybody what we're capable of. Carloni seemed motivated. We're going to give some faith, some passionate faith as well. It is a derby, so we want to be as competitive as possible. However, I don't see us being entirely competitive until later down the line in the series. So let's see how it goes. As I mentioned in that ridiculous penalty giveaway, I will be playing the matches now in 2D Classic. I just personally prefer it. It gives you a better sort of view of the match and what's going on. But 15 minutes in, and nothing's happening. We've got a corner. Ashante takes it. Ashiampong, and it's a penalty. We have a penalty. We've got a penalty against PSV. And Florian Bach is going to... Is that Florian Bach? Did I read that correctly? Oh no, Ashante, sorry. Ashante will take it, and he scores it. It's 1-0 to FC Eindhoven against PSV. Oh, this is incredible. If we could pull off a win here, I would be absolutely... I think I would get a semi, to be honest. Maybe not even a semi, maybe a fully. What on earth is a fully? I don't know. We've got a throw-in. Loaf takes it. Onatelli. Massimo Onatelli, edge of the box. What can he do? Pass it back to Esikal. Don't lose the ball here, guys. Loaf. Back post cross. Carlone and PSV do manage to scramble it away. Now Trent Sainsbury comes out with it. Doniel Malin's in. Romero strikes it and it goes straight through our goalkeeper. I'm not happy with that goal at all. It wasn't a clear-cut chance. It was ferociously struck by Romero, as the commentary said, but the goalkeeper should be keeping that one out. Maxi Romero equalises for PSV against FC Eindhoven. See Malin with an intelligent ball through to Romero, who absolutely pinged it, and it is 1-0. Although we are on 2D Classic, I will be replaying. The replays will still happen, and they'll still be in in 3 dimensions. Another highlight, Svinkels out to Ashante, who's got loads of space. As I mentioned, we're getting joy down these sides, and Ashante can dribble it forward. Gives it to Alvin Daniels on this right hand side, who can't beat the defender, and PSV now come forward. It was Luke de Jong. They've got an overload on this side. It's an easy goal. Daniel Malin with the goal, assist by Luke de Jong. The commentary's blaming the goalkeeper, but there's nothing he could really do there. It was just a counter-attack as Maxi Romero played it to De Jong, who he couldn't really miss Malin. What are all our players doing on one side of the pitch? I don't understand that. But anyway, Daniel Malin puts PSV 2-1 ahead. Our fire here was quickly extinguished, wasn't it? Esikal, Loaf, Onatelli, Loaf. We're left with the 3-on-2. Just pause it right there. They have won the ball back. We're left with a 3-on-2 time and time again. Although Karim Esikal is a defensive midfielder on defend, which is here, he's not dropping in there. And I think maybe if I change him to a half-back, that might sort of happen, but I don't know. I think maybe we need to go with 3 at the back to counter this formation from PSV, because Esikal there, he's not doing anything. He's not picking anybody up. He needs to be further back here so that the centre backs can split and mark these guys. Something I might look to change, because I can see BH has now got it in left back. I can see exactly what's going to happen. He's going to ping it up here, I imagine down the line, and then they're going to have an overload and it's going to be another goal. So we'll see what happens, shall we? BH down the line, Romero through to Malin. Daniel Malin scores again, and you could see it happen, and you could see it happening. I'm going to have to go to 3 at the back. I don't know why we're getting caught so high up the pitch when we're uncautious, although I have got the team playing higher up the pitch, and that's where that I want to play. But when you're playing against 3 strikers, that's just something you can't do. But Malin does slot it away, and it's 3-1 to PSV. Just going to make that change now, and what we're going to do is just going to bring Esikal into central defence alongside Bark and Ashiampong, so that we're not constantly caught there. In fact, I think we could go to a wing-back formation. I think that's what we'll do. So PSV take a 3-1 lead into half-time, and after that penalty, we've just crumbled. I maybe should have went a bit more defensive, but we are already on cautious after the penalty. But after the Maxi Romero goal, I probably should have gone. I should have brought Esikal back into central defence, but I didn't recognise that early enough, and I probably should have. Yeah, I basically said that we've got nothing to lose, boys. We'll just get into the second half and see what happens. If we do get another highlight, I'll have a look at how the centre back change for Esikal's actually worked. But it does seem to have kind of nullified their attacking threat somewhat. They've had no highlights since. I'm going to take Nicholas Stealing off because he's just not having a good game. We'll take him off now for Sander Rosemer, who's actually going to be making his first appearance since his long injury. Carloni's not having a good game. We're going to give Volker Janssens on that left-hand side as a winger. On attack, he's got some good finishing attributes, so hopefully he can get forward and propel us a bit more. So Zoot knocks it forward, and there's Ashiampong. You can see our 3 defenders now are matching the 3 attackers. He's Rosario, Sainsbury. It's back post. There's Luke de Jong. It's 4-1. Assist from Trent Sainsbury, but it's just poor marking on our behalf, I think. There you can see Rosario into Sainsbury. We weren't shopping for an assist there. Back post, and I think that's Ashiampong, is it? Oh no, it's Augustin Loaf. It's the right wing back who's lost Luke de Jong. It's a good finish from de Jong, but you'd expect nothing less from a Netherlands international striker. We're coming forward now with it. Loaf, Daniels, Alvin Daniels poked it forward, and that was a terrible effort, really. I'm going to get the youngster Jay Inters on to give him some experience of big games, and 83 minutes gone. The game's probably beyond us now, as they've got another highlight. It's Berenguer, Gutierrez. They've pretty much scored with every highlight they've had, and that shows the quality of these sort of teams. But hopefully we should get some money from this. Anyway, I think I don't know if there's any loser prize money for the cup itself. Mauro Junior now, Frey, Berenguer, and absolutely nobody near him. Great save by Svinkels, but Daniel Malin completes his hat-trick, and we are 5-1 down. Look at the space here. Frey picked it up, and look at the space. It's absolutely, why ain't you coming back there? Who's that? It's Volker Janssens. He is on attack, so that's maybe why he isn't coming back. But the left back is far too narrow, Rushdie Ashante. I don't know what he's thinking of there. Luke de Jong comes across, heads it. It's a good save by Swinkels, but Malin's there to pick it up and slot one home to make it 5. Gutierrez with a free kick, and it's headed away. Malin, Gutierrez, headed away by Ashley Ampong. But it's all over, and it's 5-1 to PSV against FC Eindhoven in the first Lichtstad derby of the save. Unfortunately, Donyell Malin just absolutely destroyed us in the... Well, it was the 3 up top, wasn't it? It was Luke de Jong, Donyell Malin and Max Romero. See, they only had 5 shots on target, but that, 5 shots on target, 5 goals. I don't know how they managed that, considering that Swinkels actually made a save at one point. I don't know how they've managed to only have 5 shots on target. That's a bit strange, isn't it? I've just said unlucky because it's 5-1 against the best team in the country, probably between them and Ajax, maybe Feyenoord in there a little bit. But one of the best teams in the country were probably the worst professional teams in the country. So I'm not too upset with the 5-1 defeat. I did predict 5-0. It was nice that we scored, nice that we went in the lead, and I started dreaming, and then they just swiftly took that dream away from us, didn't they? We've received 5k from losing against PSV. I'm not sure what we would have got for winning, but I know we obviously got 30k in the first round, which is really nice. But we've received 5k from losing. I'll take a look at our finances and see if we... now then, 470 grand we've got there. I don't know if you can see that because of my face. Oh yes, you can. Yeah, you can. £470,000 there we've got from gate receipts this month. Probably I would say maybe about 400 grand of that's probably been that one game, but that is incredible. That's taken us to 1,341,152. Whew! Bloody lovely. Right then, interestingly, Topos is our next game, and they are the bottom team in the Eerste Divisie, and we will be going away from home. We've been better away from home than we have been at home. If you take a look at our away games, if we filter this, I think you can do it. Yes, you can. So if you take a look at our away games, that form isn't bad. 3 wins. Bearing in mind 2 of those games were against Eredivisie clubs as well. We've got the 3 wins, a draw, and 3 losses. That's sort of like, that's really mid-table kind of form. But if we're just being really disappointing at home. Okay, I've ruined that, haven't I? Home, there we go. But we've been really disappointed at home. In fact, we haven't actually won a game at home this season. The best result that we got was against Go Ahead Eagles, which was the 3-3, which we really should have won. We were really unlucky in that game. But we won't dwell on it. Our next home game is against Telstar, who are 3rd. So that's going to be another really difficult game before we play the derby against Helmand Sport at home. So I hope that's the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Apologies that we weren't playing PSV's Vol and we were playing PSV instead. I'm pretty sure you won't mind. But the KMV beat Alison Becker just wasn't to be this season. We drew 2 away games to 2 Eredivisie sides, so it was always going to be tough. It's always going to be tough anyway. We were only expected to get to the second round by the board. That's what we've done. So but thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like, comment and subscribe if you are new. Frewball FM is a fun place to be. Just come and hang out. Thanks everybody for watching now. Bye bye.